The Galactic Allied Forces training base orbited a dying star, its bleak light casting long shadows over the multi-species barracks. Among the cadets, humans were few, barely tolerated, often mocked. Most had learned to keep their heads down. Elias Roan didn't stand out. That was intentional. Tall, but unassuming, Elias moved with quiet precision, responding to commands without complaint. He kept to himself, rarely speaking unless spoken to. The others thought him soft, too passive for military life. To the Xarn, it was proof that humans lack spine. Commander Threx, a hulking, kite-in-armored veteran of the Reagan campaign, made that opinion known often and loudly. The training session was brutal, as expected. A joint survival simulation meant to test endurance and cohesion. When supply drone malfunctioned mid-exercise, Threx seized the moment to single out the human squad. "This," he barked, gesturing at the disabled unit, "is the result of human incompetence." No one argued. They never did. Humans had learned that resistance earned punishment. But Elias didn't flinch, didn't even blink. He simply observed. Calm. Neutral. Threx crossed the dirt between them with slow, deliberate steps. He stood over Elias, his mandibles clicking. The others braced for more yelling. Instead, Threx struck him. The backhand was fast and brutal, slamming into Elias's cheek with a wet snap. The human staggered, but didn't fall. The impact echoed across the training field, and silence followed. Everyone froze. Even the other Xarn cadets looked uneasy. Physical violence between ranks was strictly against protocol. But Threx was decorated. Feared. No one would question him. Certainly not for hitting a human. Elias slowly turned his head back. Blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. He looked up at Threx, eyes still unreadable. No words. No expression. Just silence. Threx scoffed and turned away, signaling the exercise was over. Cadets dispersed quickly, eager to put distance between themselves and the tension. The humans helped Elias to his feet, but he waved them off. "I'm fine," he said. Calm. Controlled. As if the strike had never happened. Inside the barracks, whispers followed him. Some mocked, others speculated. The humans who knew better remained quiet. Elias sat on his bunk, eyes staring at nothing, unmoving. 30 minutes passed. Stillness. A Xarn cadet muttered, "I guess humans really are spineless." But another, older cadet, Corin, from the Varnock front, shook his head. "No, you don't understand what you just saw." "What?" "Some blood and embarrassment." "That wasn't embarrassment," Corin said, voice low. "That was calculation." Elias stood eventually and walked out without a word. He left his bunk perfectly made. He didn't look back. A data technician named Rel, one of the few non-human sympathizers, noticed Elias accessing restricted schematics from a secure terminal shortly after. No alarm was raised. No one questioned it. The base security was lax for low-tier cadets. No one suspected a silent, unremarkable human to be a risk. Rel tried to speak to him as he passed. "Elias, are you all right?" Elias paused. 5 minutes. 5 minutes for what? But Elias had already walked away. The human barracks emptied without a single word spoken. One by one, cadets packed essentials and moved with calm, deliberate coordination. No alarms. No shouting. Just an efficient extraction protocol that no alien present understood. They called it Protocol Black. None of them knew what it meant. That was by design. Elias descended into the maintenance levels of the station, slipping past biometric locks that should have denied him. They didn't. His clearance was buried deep in Alliance records, sealed, classified, and known only to a handful of Earth Command officials. He was never truly a cadet, not in the way others were. His real designation was OSI-7, Operative, Special Insertion, Level 7 clearance. Sent to observe, document, and, if necessary, eliminate. He moved like a ghost. Security cams failed to register his presence. He rewired them himself 3 weeks prior, anticipating a possible breach. No one questioned the quiet human tinkering with panels. He was just the quiet tech guy, harmless. Inside the weapons vault, 2 biometric layers failed to stop him. Earth tech was designed to bypass galactic systems decades ago. Elias retrieved a sealed crate, untouched since his arrival. Inside was a matte black rig, low-emission exosuit, neural-linked smart rifle, and micro-drone swarm. He equipped it all in silence. No adrenaline, no emotion, just protocol. At the command tower, a Xarn lieutenant noticed something unusual. The human barracks were half empty. "Are they deserting?" he asked aloud. Another officer shrugged. "Who cares? Let them run. One of them got taught a lesson today." Down below, Elias linked into the base's backup systems. The primary grid was alien-engineered, redundant, compartmentalized. But the backups were universal, and humans designed universals. His fingers danced over the console, uploading dormant software. Earth's cyber warfare protocols activated quietly, spreading through the network like ink in water. The base lights flickered once. No one cared. A message was transmitted through a secure, human-only channel, bouncing through encrypted relays. A voice replied in seconds. "Female. Calm. Confirming status. Roan Elias. Code Black received. Extraction in progress." "Time frame?" Elias asked. 6 minutes. "I need 5. Copy. Extraction ship holding position in asteroid field. Prepare for blackout." Across the base, human cadets moved with silent purpose. Those too far from safety relayed their positions to Elias. He rerouted power from corridors, opened hidden passages, disabled cameras. Each movement was practiced, polished. Commander Threx was in the officers' lounge, boasting to his peers about discipline. He hadn't even reported the strike. He thought it was done, buried. Elias wasn't acting from rage, not vengeance. He was following orders that activated under one condition: direct physical aggression against Earth personnel. The Galactic Alliance had been warned. Earth was new to their councils, but not to war. The warning was clear. "Touch one of ours, and you forfeit protection." Elias confirmed the final override command. A soft chime acknowledged system infiltration complete. All security was now under his control. The base's central AI, built by the Xarn Consortium, registered a minor logic error. Elias injected a kill loop into its motor control protocols. Nothing dramatic, just enough to blind sensors and unlock physical barriers. In a hangar, several humans boarded a small transport and powered it down. Silent, no trace emissions. The ship was designed for evasion, not combat. It would be gone before anyone knew it had arrived. The lights flickered again. Inside the Xarn command suite, a technician tapped a screen. "There's a power drain in the lower levels." "No need to check," Threx said lazily. "Probably another human breaking something." Another flicker. A second technician frowned. "Sir, that's the 3rd sector to go dark." No response came. Elias was already inside the server core, disabling external comms. Isolation complete. Outside, among the rocks of the asteroid belt, the extraction ship waited. Back inside, Elias exhaled once. His face remained blank, focused. 5 minutes start now, he said aloud, though no one could hear him. The power failed in synchronized segments. First, the barracks, then the hangars, then the outer perimeter. No explosions, no fanfare, just cold, calculated blackouts. Backup systems attempted to engage, but the override buried in their firmware redirected power loops into dead circuits. The base fell silent. Inside the command center, confusion spread fast. Xarn officers barked at terminals, but screens remained black. Comms stuttered, then died completely. The lights flickered one last time before dying with a final hum. Threx stood, unsure. "Get someone to—" A pulse of sound cracked through the air. The blast door leading to the command floor blew inward, its locks already bypassed before the charge ignited. Smoke bled into the room. And then came Elias. He moved like vapor, low, fast, unseen until he fired. 2 Xarn fell before anyone understood what was happening. His rifle was quiet, its shots surgically placed. Threx lunged for a wall-mounted weapon, but it didn't respond. Powerless. Locked down. Another officer reached for a panic trigger. Elias put a round through his hand, then his chest. No shouting, no screaming, just silence, broken only by the soft thud of bodies falling. Threx stood in the center, unarmed, watching as Elias stepped through the smoke. "You're making a mistake," he growled. Elias tilted his head slightly. "You struck a human in uniform. You know what that means." Threx bared his mandibles. "You think you scare me? I've killed." The shot cut him off, straight through the knee. Threx roared, collapsing to the floor. Elias advanced, reloading with a single flick. He didn't speak again. There was nothing left to say. Around the base, defense turrets fired blindly. Elias had rerouted targeting algorithms to detect only Xarn signatures. They turned on their own. Screams echoed through corridors, confused and panicked. Automated drones dropped from ceiling hatches, slicing through fleeing Xarn squads with microblades and concussive rounds. They'd been stashed weeks ago, disguised as repair bots. No one had noticed. No one ever did. In the armory, Xarn soldiers found every weapon disabled. Firing pins removed, power cells missing. Elias had planned for every contingency. The only working weapons on the base were in his hands, and those of the humans now exfiltrating silently. The control tower exploded from within, an internal detonation triggered remotely. The blast severed long-range comms permanently. No distress call would leave the system. Threx crawled, leaving a trail of thick ichor. He reached for a fallen officer's blade. Elias kicked it away, then planted a boot on Threx's chest. "You think this makes you powerful?" Threx spat. Elias crouched. "No, it makes me precise." He injected a capsule into Threx's neck, a neural disruptor designed for Xarn physiology. It didn't kill him. It just paralyzed him completely, leaving him conscious. "I want you awake when the rest are gone." He walked away. The final sweep was methodical. Elias moved through the dark corridors, securing final control points, clearing any last resistance. The drone's swarm handled pockets of stragglers, neutralizing with lethal precision. They moved in silence, guided by his neural link. In under 5 minutes, the base's Xarn division was functionally gone. Not captured, not wounded, gone. Elias returned to the extraction point. The remaining human cadets waited. No celebration, no questions. They boarded the stealth craft, their faces calm. From orbit, the base looked untouched. No major structural damage. Just a dead station floating in silence, filled with bodies and the humming emptiness of disabled tech. A single signal was transmitted from the ship before jumping to FTL. 3 words. Response complete. Roan. The council chambers were silent as the footage played. No sound, just frames captured from broken security feeds. A blur moved through the shadows, too fast to track, too precise to be random. 22 confirmed Xarn casualties. Dozens more presumed. 1 human operative. No warnings, no negotiations, no survivors. Counselor Varn leaned forward. "Is this accurate?" The human ambassador didn't blink. Down to the millisecond. The Xarn representative hissed. "This is a declaration of war." "It's a response," the ambassador replied. "You were warned." Silence followed. The weight of those 3 words hung in the air. You were warned. A week later, across a dozen training bases, new regulations were issued. Human cadets were not to be touched, not to be disciplined without oversight, not to be provoked under any circumstances. It wasn't officially stated, but the meaning was clear: don't risk another incident. Within Xarn ranks, whispers began. The story of Threx's fall circulated like a ghost tale. They said he'd struck a human cadet, and minutes later, their army was gone. No one believed it at first. Then they reviewed the casualty reports. None survived to contradict the myth. On distant colonies, Xarn recruits were taught basic human diplomacy, instructed to avoid escalation. Some protested. "We're warriors," they said, "not diplomats." But commanders had seen the footage. They knew better. In hidden Xarn channels, survivors, those off-station during the event, spoke of the ghost. A human who didn't speak, didn't shout, didn't warn. He just acted. Swift. Final. Earth made no official statement. The footage leaked without comment. No threats, no defense. Just silence. It spoke louder than any broadcast. Within human military circles, Elias Roan was never named. He didn't appear in any honors list. No medals. No ceremonies. His file remained classified, even in most of Earth's own officials. But internally, among operatives, his code name was etched into training doctrine: Osiris. The silent response. The final option. New human recruits asked their trainers, did it really happen? The answer never changed. Yes. Why didn't we go to war? Because we didn't need to. Galactic diplomats avoided direct reference to the incident. But every treaty signed with Earth after included one standard clause: respect of personnel boundaries. It became universal. It wasn't enforced by law. It was enforced by fear. Other species began re-evaluating humanity. No longer a fragile newcomer. No longer underestimated. The myth had taken hold. The humans didn't escalate. They ended. Frex's name was scrubbed from Xarn memorials. His command expunged. He existed only in whispers now. Cadets spoke of him not with anger, but with dread. The one who provoked Earth's silence. In the outer colonies, where humans and aliens mixed under looser oversight, an old mining foreman once broke a fight between species. When a Xarn threatened a human worker, the foreman intervened. You really want to find out if the story's true? The Xarn backed down. At a border outpost, a rookie asked her captain if Elias Roan was real. The captain stared out the viewport. You ever seen a ghost tear down an army? No, sir. The captain nodded. Then let's keep it that way. No songs were written. No monuments raised. But the galaxy remembered. And Earth said nothing. As always.